Usually takes about like 10 seconds. La di di da. And here we go. All right. We are recording. So, a lot of interesting things for today. Nobody quite knows exactly what atrocities are going to fall everybody today. So it should be a fun little day. Just a brief little recap over the happenings of last session. Your group braved the jungles of the Savage Lands, locating this ruined city that was overtaken by the wildlife of the jungle. There you found cryptic messages of being part of a hunt, as you kind of got the feeling that you were the unwilling participants in a, well, let's just say that you were the quote unquote prey to things that were trying to prove themselves to greater powers, aka the hunters. You made your way through the ruined city and found, guess you could say, some illusionary halls and not really traps, but contests. Braving the illusionary hall of mirrors, you discovered secret chambers leading deeper into the temple, where you were essentially arrived at a proving grounds. Here there was various traps and machinations to test those on the proving grounds. However, y'all quickly and pretty much almost beelined it straight to the proper solution, which was amazing. Figured out the puzzle of the proving grounds to unlock the door to the final test, which was a creation of the Predator King, a kind of a half man, half scorpion warrior. However, you were not alone in this fight. Also, wandering the temple was a creature that was also trying to claim this prize by the Predator King. You defeated both this other hunter and this scorpion creature to reveal an antechamber beyond that had a strange vestigial creature, almost like a undead fetus, an umbilical cord attached to a 15-foot cylindrical chamber that seemed to be absorbing life energies. You chose to destroy this vestigial creature and its containment, even after knowing that this could potentially be used for good or evil to achieve godhood. After destroying this, you were greeted by a familiar voice. Zamir, the one known as the Mad God who had possessed young Abigail, arrived in the chambers, but looked a little different from when you left her and Audrath. She seemed to have a bit of scarring and burns to the right of her face. And you found through conversation that it had been one whole year since she last saw you, since you left Audrath on this quest to restore this nymph's youth. Newt arrives with her Fey entourage, and after you have destroyed the Predator King's guardian and the vessel for godhood, she does reward you all and Willow by reincarnating the nymph into a new life, a dryad. In this new body, she tells you that she would need to go to a chamber within this temple, as she is the quote-unquote new key, since Roland, the centaur, who was the original key, was kind of blown up and horrifically murdered. Walking through the temple with Zamir as your guide, you see ghostly images of battles long past. Battles involving the Nemesis, some of the original heroes who helped stop the Second Nemesis War, some of the people that you have seen in your travels thus far, such as Princess Kitsune, and even Marie, who ran the Nymph's Rest in Aurora. Eventually, you come to a pair of doors that belong to the goddess of balance. It was here that Zamir let you know in the little secret that Newt was not telling you about, that beyond those doors lied a crystal, a gemstone. This gem was something that could help fight the Nemesis. It was one of the things that, quote-unquote, that they feared. After sending the reincarnated Dryad through the doors, she does return with this gemstone. After such time, Zamir allows Abigail to take dominance and say goodbye to Mordecai, and Zamir also says goodbye, as this is his final resting place. He does remind you that once he enters those doors, that he is not certain as to what will happen when his consciousness and the girl's consciousness finally shatter and reform into whatever new entity. All that he knows for certain is once his consciousness finally fades, control of the Nemesis will go to the being known as the Arch-Heretic, who most certainly had much more nefarious plans for the Nemesis. Once he stepped through those doors, the temple began to shake. Using powerful divination magic, you commune to other godly beings, and you know that if you were to open that door, that great woe would befall you and all those around you. Leaving the doors and returning back to Newt, you all celebrate with food, wine, and stories, as you all are extremely exhausted from the many hours of travel, almost being awake for over 24 hours. So here's where we will start today's session, in the halls of the Temple of the Goddess of Balance, where you all have taken a long rest in the presence of the Fae Court, having been fed and well rested.
When we wake up, I do a examination of myself to make sure I'm all there, and my hand is still stone.
Your hand is still stone.
Yep, that's the first order of business. We gotta fix it.
Well, I just want to, take about 10 minutes to give you all a rousing speech on just because you got fired doesn't mean it's all over. One day you can be a brave, strong paladin. The next day you're moving back in with your mom and doing chores until you can find out what you're going to do with it.
It's okay, Willow. I wish I was fired.
Oh, come on.
Barth probably just got a promotion.
You're definitely moving up the champion ranks. Why do you not look happy about that?
Don't worry about it, Willow. Don't worry about it.
I mean, he's looking forward to all the increased frequent visits that his new prestige will grant him, and now his new company will grant him, especially Willow's new title, which you may want to let Barth know about, both the character and the player, which I'm certain won't bring even more frequent visits from Newt directly.
Yeah, it's okay, Barth.
Oh yeah, she's Newt's daughter, dude. If you didn't know.
I got adopted. I'm now the daughter of change, and I'm here to help support you, Barth.
Oh, wonderful.
Isn't it?
Sure, let's go with that.
I wonder if Barth goes over to the spot where the pool of Medusa blood was and tries to dip his whole head in. Just to see if his head will turn to stone and he won't have to live with this pain anymore. That is Newt. Well, so Aetherius is still there, missing a hand. Mordecai is also still there. However, they both look like they're getting ready to part on their own ways. Now, for Mordecai and Aetherius, if you wanted your characters to say their goodbyes before the Fae open various doors for them to kind of go their own ways, and then we'll introduce the new blood.
Remember, Mordecai, go keep my workers safe.
So, as a man of not many words and not many emotions, Aetherius is going to look at the group. And I believe all of you are capable enough of dealing with everything that's going on over in Realm or Aurora. I'll be back at some point. I'm going to at least survey everything else and see all of what has actually gone wrong. And he's going to look down at the handgun. Shoot things.
Alright, you have good luck with that, Aetherius.
I will take care of them. Nova is just come back safe. Okay?
Oh, when have I ever gotten in trouble?
I just want to see you whenever you're ready to come back and help me take care of things.
Okay. Keep safe out there.
I will. Everyone, good luck. I just cannot keep doing this. I'm not strong enough. But I hope that all of you will be safe through this rough time.
And you see Sebastian come approach. The little clop, clop, clop just kind of echoes into the little cavernous temple halls. All right, are you both ready?
Yeah.
Mordecai nods.
And he leads both of you to one of the far ends of the temple hall, and on the walls, two glowing green swirling portals open up. One, he directs Mordecai with his left hand. This will go to the place that you wished to go. And with his right hand, he gestures to Aetherius to the portal on the right. And this will take you to where you wanted to go as well. Safe journeys.
Thank you. Mordecai will take one last look at the group, smile, and then step through the portal.
WTF, man? Shouldn't the one shots be the time for you guys to be wishy-washy and play new characters, and you actually keep your main character for the Saturday? Oh well.
They can do what they want. I don't let people.
Says the guy who changed character midway through the game as well.
One time compared to everybody else.
Mordecai's been Mordecai the whole time.
Well,
I played Cindy for a while.
Yeah.
True, but that was just a short thing for the relevant. Anyway, so Aetherius and Mordecai step through the portals, and the portals close behind them. While this is going on, another flash of green light appears on the other end of the tunnel. There, an odd pair step through, and they're greeted warmly by some of the Fae and brought over towards the rest of the group and to Newt. So, how does... First of all, I want you two to introduce your characters, like just how they look, and how would they react to being pulled into the presence of such Fae, such as Newt herself and the other Fae of her court.
Do you want to go first?
Actually, you go first since you're actually a Newt worshiper.
There's a bit of look of confusion on this very old, feeble woman's face. She's wearing these big Coke bottle glasses that magnify her eyes, and her hair is long and bushy, and there's sticks and twigs and leaves stuck in her hair that flows all the way down her back in a bushy mound. She's wearing some hide, and she has a crown of branches and leaves on her head. She's bent over, holding a very fine staff, and there's a broomstick tied to her back. She looks around with some confusion, sees Newt, and then drops to her knee and bows her head.
So, the other character you guys notice is a woman in these black robes that, and out of character, they're a nun's outfit. On the sides of the waist, they're cut, allowing for like movement, where you see little bits of armor and hide that just kind of gleam forth. There's a multitude of holy symbols that are actually draped around her chest and her waist. A few of them you guys would recognize. Oh my God, what are the gods that Willow was trying to be a paladin for hire for?
Neptania.
That was it. Neptania. And you also see one of Newt. On her back is this very large-looking. God, how do I want to describe this? Actually, it's wrapped up, so you just see this large, what you would at least assume to be her weapon. It looks to be about 6 feet long. You can't really make out much as it's just wrapped in cloth completely. When she realizes that she's in the presence of a deity, though, this very reserved expression that she has breaks for a split second as her eyes widen before she just goes back to having this very melancholic, almost serene look about herself.
So, Newt just comes skipping and prancing over, just all gleefully, with those two following behind. Ah! Good news! New friends! I want you to take them with you on your journey. They will help you. And please take better care of them than the last couple that you were supposed to watch over. Now, and she kind of gestures over to the dryad. I want you to take her to Aurora, and I want you to bring her to the Nymph's Rest. That is to be her new home.
I claim dibs. Oh, okay.
And Newt just kind of smiles and just kind of boops your snoot, Willow. Oh, don't fret. I have other surprises in store for you. Now, once everybody's finished having their meals, you let me know when you're ready, and Sebastian will open up a portal for you to go.
Thus did Barth never stop eating.
Barth eats himself to death.
Care for a minute.
Oh no! If he did
it's
that, then he'd have to
Whopper
stay here. And if he did that, he'd have to stay here in the Feywild for the rest of his life.
Well, you're not in the Feywild right now.
I was
Oh
gonna ask-
no!
Say, all that food we've been eating.
The food you've been eating is essentially just conjured food, similar that you'd get from various pre-spells that would conjure similar food. Not Hero's Feast, but just, regular meals.
Okay, just making sure we weren't having Feywild too.
Electric
Revenge.
Boogaloo, where you get like shark's teeth and vomit acid and want to murder children and shrink half your size and become, you have your body literally turn into photosynthesis.
Turn everything into glass. Everything you touch into glass.
That's not.
Please
let's
no.
talk about that. You don't want to turn random people into glass?
I don't know, it worked out in the past.
Yeah, nothing bad happened from that.
Hold on a second.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, while the Fae still kind of have their jovial dancing and, playful musings in this temple, what does the rest of you do? It's various pixies and sprites just flying around, little glowing, kind of soft yellow and greenish emotes just dancing throughout the hallways. Phantom giggles and whispers just going about.
The strange old lady sits down and just looks around, taking it all in, and then pulls out a small viol and starts playing until we're ready to make a move.
Okay.
Right. Well, I don't see a weapon on her. Already deciding what would be the best product to sell. I need to see what's on your back.
It's a broom.
Not a lie. She sweeps the competition clean, tell you that.
All right. Granny.
You cut out what?
That's is it all right, Granny?
I'm Granny Nix.
Granny Nix. Okay, and who's your friend?
My name is Faith.
Okay. I see a distinct lack of weapons on you two. May I interest you in some high quality Fae-made product?
I cast minor illusion.
What do you create, or illusion?
Granny Nix is now holding a giant slab of metal in the shape of a sword.
I can put that in my hands, take a nice inspection look, and my hands are going.
She just smiles, a crooked smile, missing teeth.
Okay, I'll see what I can do for that.
I have a weapon. It's just wrapped up on my back.
How would you like to have a better weapon? Here, we'll get testimonials. Men here, come over here.
I think Menhir's AFK right now.
He was the only person who's ever taken a product.
So while you're trying to make a sale, what is Barth doing during all this?
He's just, trying not to be noticed by, Newt, trying not to, cause anything else to happen. Anything else bad to happen in the short time we're still here.
Fair enough. For the most part, he has been successful in that endeavor. Newt has only been by him maybe 2 or 3 times. She has been more focused on some of the various Fae, talking to some of the other Fae about certain other gatherings and things that are going about, and of course, discourse with Willow, her new daughter. You're not sure why, but every time that, Willow and Daughter of Change, when those things come together in your head, it creates a very sharp headache, like if somebody was taking a knife and turning it in your skull. It's just nothing good is going to come of this.
Question becomes, who's the babysitter and who's the babysittee?
Well,
Yeah,
Well, of
no matter
course,
how you
both
look at
is
it,
Willow.
everybody loses, so.
pretty much. Yeah.
Gotta remember, having godlike powers did not change Newt a whole lot in terms of personality. She was already very aloof before, and continues to be so now with cosmic powers.
At least she's probably not as much a kleptomaniac.
You say that.
Speaking of, I need to do a quick inventory.
I mean, now instead of like taking random knickknacks, here and there, bits and baubles that she finds interesting, now she can just pluck people out of the ether. So, I mean, you tell me if she still steals.
Elodia.
Yes?
Hi. Where do you think we should go?
Well, where do you want to go?
I don't know.
So
Where
did
do
you make a
wanna-
sale?
No. They already got weapons, or are pretending they've got weapons. Could you go over there and tell them that she's gonna dig in her bag and pull out a club and just put it into her hands. Tell them you bought this from me and that you're super duper.
Is this an earshot?
Make a perception
Probably.
check. See if you can pick up on this conversation. Yeah, Faith does not pick this up at all. Nix, you hear them talking, but you don't quite make out everything. You hear like a word or two will stand up, but then there's something going on in the background, maybe a Fae giggling too loudly at another Fae's joke or prank, and it just kind of distracts from your focus, and you don't quite pick up the whole sentence structure.
Maybe you should give them a demonstration of how awesome your weapons.
There's no way to fight here.
Well, Bart's there.
Bart!
Well, I mean, Barth right now already has like the Captain America ass, so that's the Feywild ass right there.
So it's forever growing. Got it.
Bart, I need to beat up on you to make a sale. Elodia told me to do it.
I don't know how that's gonna work. I don't know how well that's gonna work, Willow.
But they need a demonstration.
I'm back, by the way.
Welcome back.
Man here, Barth won't let me beat him up as a demonstration to sell my weapons to people who already have weapons.
Well, yeah, because that don't make no sense.
This is why I'm always going to be poor.
How good are the weapons there? Let me check them out.
Well, right now you got my best.
Do you mean like
The-
the axe and stuff?
No, the Frost brand.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, what else is there?
Let's see, I got this double-bladed scimitar. I've got this great sword.
Who you trying to sell them to anyway?
The old lady and cloth.
The old lady is now next to Minhir and is looking up at him with big wide eyes.
Well, I don't think the old lady, would be interested in weapons anyway. There, Willa.
But
And
this lance, it needs a new home.
The one that looks like it's made out of a spinal column.
Yep.
and I don't think anyone would be interested in that thing, except maybe you. So maybe you should keep it.
Such a big, handsome man.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate you.
Can I touch your muscles?
Sure.
She reaches up with her wrinkly, bony hands and squeezes on Minhir's bicep. Oh.
Plays a musical instrument. Is attempting to seduce the big strong man. Yep, you're a bard, aren't
I have been known to dilly-dally around.
Well, I will leave you two to get acquainted. Hey Barth, are you done eating?
Yeah, I think maybe we should go. If you're suggesting that we should leave, I wholly agree with you. For once.
Faith, we're going on a journey. Where are we going, big people?
She thinks I'm big.
How tall is Willow?
Willow's like what, 5'2"?
Oh god, you're the same height as Faith.
Actually, all three of us are probably around the same height.
5'6", never mind.
Well, you are taller than us.
I mean,
What the
points at
fuck?
load
I
the
never
elf.
should have left. I never should have left the goddamn temple. I'm so fucking pissed at Click right now.
If you would have just opened those damn doors.
So I think the first thing, though, that we should go out and do is to fix. She kind of leans forward and taps on Menhir Stone.
You said stone hand, correct? You didn't
Yes.
say taps on Menhir's stone, that would look awkward as fuck.
Yeah, the hand.
Oh, okay. Just making sure you put the qualifier of hand on that. Yep, it's a little bit annoying not being able to, wield my weapons properly with one hand.
Well, I do have something that could help you in a few days if you'd like that.
And what would that be, man?
She pulls off this ring from her hand and holds it out towards Menhir. This is a ring that has generally helped me whenever I have an arm ripped off by a demon. As a side note, I never thought of this when I was picking this item. I may have gotten this because I was going to play like a psychopath this character.
What is it, a ring of regeneration?
It is. I love this item because you get to have a lot of fun beating the shit out of people. Because you can go, fuck it, I'ma break my arm on their face.
So, are you going to cut your hand off and let it regrow back?
No. Doesn't that take like weeks? Whereas
it takes days.
Yeah.
Nah, no. No, thank you, man. I just need like a spell or something I could to restore it to its normal.
Well, all right then, sir. And then she slips the ring back onto her hand.
Oh,
do you have a place where we can go to?
I think I remember that one of the priests in Reldon still owes me a favor. I don't remember why I was looking for that favor, though.
Yeah, I think it's mighty convenient that the son bitch who was bitching at me to put my hand in the fucking fountain too done left already.
We could go to Reldon. That'd probably be the best place to start.
Is this a big city?
It is.
Sounds exciting.
Now you're gonna make me look at this damn map all the time, Dave.
What?
It's a great map.
Cool.
Why do you not want to look at the map? You don't want to know where you want to go?
No, I'm looking at Reldon right now. What the fuck? Pendragon Hall. What the hell? Dave, you fucked up. I'm disappointed with you, sir. You did not put "Here There Be Dragons" where that sea serpent is on the right-hand side. You should have.
Well, no, the dragons are actually a little bit off this map. That's where Drakon is, and that's where a bunch of dragons are. That, you don't want to really go there.
No,
but
I'm talking about for the sailors, man. They do shit like they think that.
Well, yeah, that's why there's a sea serpent there,
stuff
and there's a little ship, sailing around the coast. That's way too big.
I thought "Here There Be Dragons" meant that it was uncharted waters.
That is what it meant in real life, yeah. Meaning they did not. No one had explored that part of the water yet. That's what it meant in real life.
So
I know stuff.
So, Reldon, is that where y'all want to go?
Have we been there before? I was in Aurora, right, Dave? That's where I was at. wasn't
Yeah,
it?
you were in Aurora.
Okay, so I ain't been to Reldon yet.
In fact,
Will-
probably Willow
Even
and
though
Barth are the
average-
last two that are still. Actually, no.
Elodia.
Lodia was there during that 'cause she came in right before the whole Reldon arc.
That's why Elodia has to stay.
I just need to get my hand fixed. I don't care where we go.
If Elodia stays, I haven't lost all my friends I started out.
You assume
Listen,
that you
we
two were
don't.
friends?
We don't listen. We don't talk about Ryan.
I still have his shield. and sword. I didn't loot a body. You
Boggles
can't
here.
prove it.
Well, I mean, yeah,
Boggles
he
here
didn't
in
have a
spirit.
sword, so you know.
Oh, I mean his scythe. Not scythe.
The sickle.
Oh no, she
Sickle.
has that shit still. The fucking flaming sickle thing, she got that. His body was looted quite well by Willow. Actually.
And you all die. Your weapons join the armor.
Yeah, that's cool. In real life, if I die before my brother and I get cremated, he's gonna forge my ashes into silver bullets.
To be prepared for a werewolf.
Yep. Or monsters, really. Silver is efficacious against monster kind in the old legend. And iron. Iron against the Fae, silver against monsters.
Yeah. Willow has to make all her weapons out of copper nowadays. Giant protective gloves when she does her working.
So was that a flame tongue longsword? I mean, a Frostbrand longsword is what I.
Yep.
I love you for that.
It's such a cool weapon.
Yeah, literally, it's cool.
Well, I'm glad you enjoy it now. We've got this nice, lovely receipt for you. You don't need to look.
Yeah, nope.
All right.
I'm just gonna let you know about Enterprise there, Willa. Sales don't work that way. You don't give someone something and then, tell them later they owe you something for it. That's not how that. That's not a purchase.
All right. Let me just forge your signature right here.
So while the forged bill of sale is going on, Ivy's just kind of sitting, looking at everybody there, just kind of wide-eyed. From your brief conversations with Ivy, which apparently that wasn't her name. She had another name, but apparently with conversations with Willow, it quickly became Ivy. And it just sort of stuck as Willow had not ceased to keep calling her Ivy. She does not have any recollection of her former life. Nothing as a nymph or any of the atrocities that, happened to her. She is quite literally like a brand new person, like a whole nother life. And she's kind of learning things right now. And right now she doesn't have a lot of questions, but all she knows is that you are going to be bringing her to her quote-unquote forever home.
Yep, we just have to make 1 or 2 pit stops along the way.
Okay. And she just...
This was the lady that was the old woman, right?
That was the nymph that was rapidly aging, and she was reincarnated as a dryad.
I'm the old woman now.
This is true. Nyx is quite indeed the old woman of the party now.
So I don't have the best history of keeping people around Endor alive. So I gotta plan this. Barth, Elodia. Anytime I have an idea of something I'm gonna do with Ivy, you two can veto me.
I have been waiting for this for 3 months. Or however long we've been here.
And I give men here permission to, stop me if things go. In regards to Ivy.
Okay. Well, pretty much I'll let you do whatever you please up to this. I'm not really in charge of you there, Willa. You do have some horrible decision-making skills, though, on a personal note. If you want to change those, that'd be great. But you have to realize that for yourself.
Well, statistically speaking, everybody I've tried to help for the last year. Well, I mean, there was Remy. He's now spent a year.
You don't
Probably in
know
the
what the hell happened to Remy.
Let's see. There was Hal. You know what? I'm not going to go down this list. Come on.
To be fair, you caused most of the problems in Hal's life.
And you hear somebody clear their throat behind you. Very sharp, just...
Do you need a cough drop?
No, I don't need a cough drop. I wanted to meet my supposed granddaughter.
Oh no! Oh no! No! Oh no!
You see a crimson
My life.
skinned
Yeah,
tiefling
no.
woman
Horribly bad.
who is very very sour looking exposition on her face. She is dressed in sort of I wouldn't say a regalia, but it is fine clothing. But she does have various bits of jewelry on her fingers and around her neck. The clothes are very form-fitting, but they kind of bar the line of elegance and sultry. And she just kind of walks around in front and kind of almost orbits you, Willow. She's sizing you up. Hand kind of on her chin, just kind of tapping the side of her face, her little cheek with one of her nails.
There's only one thing to do here. You're my grandma? And then a flying hug.
Okay, so you try to embrace your
And
grandma.
Willow is impaled through the chest with a sword.
Well, no, but Rick Swery does bamf. So at the last moment when Willow would be making, wide arm hug to connect, this tiefling woman who once was in that little 5-foot area is now in another 5-foot area in this hallway, just poof, poof, and Willow just kind of, with nobody there that was supposed to be the hug, she kind of stumbles forward an extra 5 feet just from the momentum.
You're just like my biological mom.
No touchy. It's bad enough. And she just kind of looks over towards Sebastian. That is in our family. Now, you are in our family. Oh, what wonderful times. Newt, we're gonna need to have a discussion about these adoptions. "Hey, mommy!" And she just kind of like hugs this tiefling woman, and the tiefling woman actually smiles a bit when she holds Newt. That's about the only time she smiles.
Are we all getting adopted?
No.
Yeah, Rixori has the most legendary resting bitch face of any woman ever to be.
Oh.
Right? She only smiles for Newt. The rest of the time, she has resting bitch face, the likes of which none of us have ever seen.
Willow, a word. And Rixori just kind of gestures that little curling finger motion towards you. I'm going to tell you the same thing I told Horsey Boy over there. If you hurt my daughter in any way, the realms will know of your suffering as it will be of legend. You have no idea what you just put yourself into. You have been warned. Good luck on your travels! And she just kind of pats Willow on the back and grabs a chalice of some wine that a fae was pouring for somebody else, and she just starts guzzling it. And then tosses the chalice on the floor. You hear it just clatter and roll. Clang, 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 clang.
Wow, she's just like my biological mom.
She's kind of a bitch.
So how is it to
Hey,
get
don't say
threatened by
that
your
about
own
my
character?
grandma.
Get a better grandma.
Wait, is there a store? Can you just buy grandmothers?
I can be
In
your
some
grandma.
cities, yes.
I probably should just stick with one grandma for the moment. I mean, I did have a second one, Granny Hagatha, but we try not to think about her.
I'm about ready to give up on life. Just lay the fuck down.
You can lay down in the portal. Come on. I think we should get going.
Yes, I think that's probably not a. I think that'd be a good idea as well.
Adventure!
All right, well, if you're all ready to go, you let Sebastian know that you want to go to Reldon. Or did you?
Yeah. I believe we're going there.
Minier looks at Sebastian with the most pity in his expression that you've ever seen in your life, and he says, "I don't know why. I don't know why they're Mr. Centaur Unicorn dude, but I feel like I should feel extremely sorry for you. So you have my sympathies and condolences."
He just lets out a long, long sigh. Especially as like Newt just kind of latches onto him, and you see like this little glowing blue light from her hands, like when she attaches onto him, and he just kind of looks up at you, just with these dead eyes, just like you could tell that there are fates worse to death, and this is probably one of them. And of course, Newt's just oblivious and as happy as can be.
Oh, it's so romantic.
Wait, isn't Sebastian married to Mira?
He is.
I don't even want to know. Forget I said anything.
Rixori's family tree is more like a family wreath.
Yeah, it runs straight. Exactly. So see, even Menhir is wise enough not to even acknowledge. He just stands there like a statue when Rixori was around. Oh yes. Don't move, dude. Don't even.
Her vision is based on movement.
Although to be fair, I don't think Minhir actually.
Nope, he don't. He don't.
No,
But that's the
no,
thing.
yeah,
Since these are a recurring nightmare, I reserve the right to have these awesome premonitory feelings in my newer characters, not to interact with.
Well,
Like physically, Rixori's fine as hell. The stone probably twitched in his pants. However, his
Oh,
brain is
God.
too smart.
He's fucked crazy.
he
One
was
too many
scaroused.
times.
Is what it was. He was scaroused when he saw Rixori.
Probably. Whatever. That's scared and aroused.
Yes.
Probably.
Whoa, down, big fella, down. You don't know what you're getting into. We don't do crazy anymore.
Exactly.
I learned my lesson after the 16th time. That was all in the same night. Menhir's got some stories. So, Sebastian opens up the portal. And again, you see the swirling greenish light. Well, this will take you all to Weldon.
In the middle of his sentence, Nyx runs in.
Just a bright flash of green light as Nyx just charges in.
Faith is going to then walk through following Nyx.
All right, Sebastian. Now open the real portal.
Now, you know, if Rixori would have opened that portal, then you know, yeah, she would have probably opened her portal to like, freaking Carcery or, you know, the Outer Planes and just been laughing her ass off as y'all just, you know, met all the things you don't want to meet ever in an adventuring career.
I do kind of have to wonder how Rixori managed to escape the
The
principal
hellish
that we
tortures.
Eh,
I mean, you thought she was a bitch before.
good thing she didn't recognize Minhir from that.
The Minhir
Oh,
wasn't
to be
alone.
fair, he wasn't there at that time, so.
But she is giving the dagger eyes towards Willow, just kind of like
Who is cheerfully
watching you.
waving. All right, let's
Oh.
get going.
Yes, let's get out of here. Barth's gonna go through the door.
Whoosh, bright flash of green light.
Cool, I'll go through.
Whoosh, another a flash of green light.
Willow's gonna start getting ready to go through. Remember something, turn around, grab Ivy's hand, and lead her. I'm not forgetting this time.
Okay. Does anybody not go through the portal?
Why would it... Dude,
Some people are crazy. Lodi,
I swear, Dick.
I'm going.
you're going? Okay. All right, well.
Yeah, please, Elodia, don't leave me with the insane people by myself.
Lodi's like,
Please.
good, now they're all gone. Finally. Thought I'd never be rid of them. No.
No, for real. Like, the only sane people are Elodia and Minhir.
Well, you know, she
Everyone
did-
else is crazy.
Forrest is sane.
Excuse me?
No, he's Barth is not sane at all. Barth is crazy as
Anymore.
fuck too.
Barth used to be sane.
Then he met
That's
me.
correct. That is correct. Barth was sane at one point. Now his insanity is just as much. He spent too much time, letting Willow do her bad decision.
You try to stop Willow from doing bad decisions, sir.
Yeah,
My
well, that's
It's like
decisions are
trying to stop the
good.
Guess
sun
what?
from rising.
no. What you do is you go the opposite way. Then you at least compel her to do all her bad decisions by herself. Then she won't do them as much.
Ah, yes, like that will totally work. Mister still follows
It'll
with the
work.
bad decisions.
It'll work about half the time.
See, that's how you end up with baby Tarrasques.
I mean, Rixori is in this campaign, so eating any kind of baby is kind of on the table now.
No,
Yeah,
she's
pretty
away,
much.
she's locked up behind a Fey wild wall. We're good. We're safe.
You say that, but
Dave, we're safe.
again, you say that.
See, that's why dude. Look, you don't give Dave crazy characters to do shit.
Oh,
with.
you
just-
don't have to worry about that. I was making NPCs and I like stumbled upon some weird NPC builds and ideas and concepts, and some of them I've made fully fleshed out, and others I just have the most important bits to. So, yeah. So I have a gazetteer popped up here. It's a work in progress with it, but you should remember the map here with that. So it's got some of the districts there, and I will have some more info on the districts. Some of that is on our World Anvil page. I just don't have it in here yet. So just a little heads up on that. So, some interesting things while you come through the portal. And I'm trying to look at a handout here, if I can find it. I believe it was under this. No. Under handouts. Yeah. All right. So as you exit the portal through the green light, you see everybody jump through the portal appear right outside the gates on the inner part of Reldon here. The gates itself, again, if I can find the proper handout, would be fantastic. Oh, okay, so I had two handouts with that. Okay. So you're just inside of the market ward, and there's busybodies here. There are humans in Reldon, something that you have not seen outside of Barth previously. However, everybody's attention seems to be focused on something upwards in the sky. There is a booming voice, and I'm going to reshare this here. You see a ghostly image of this visage in the sky over Reldon. You see another image appear next to it, one that you have seen before, of Caleb, as the arch-heretic speaks to the populace of Reldon. Citizens of Reldon, the time has come. If you wish to save your lives, lives of your families, yourselves. You will hand over Caleb. If you know where he is, you will give that information to one of our own. There is a bounty on his head. If your family's safety or the lives of your city does not entice you, 1 million coin. If you do not give us Caleb, if you try to harbor Caleb, your lives will not only be forfeit, but we promise you a death that will not be swift nor merciful. And
Anybody know where this Caleb dude is?
in case you think this is an empty threat, or that you think you cannot be touched, or that my reach cannot find you, let this serve as a reminder. The sky begins to darken, and thunder begins to peal across the skies as the clouds begin to swirl, almost like a whirlpool high above. At the center of the whirlpool kind of opens up, and this black pillar of, it's almost like a black light just kind of strikes down by the wall of Relden, the city wall. The ground begins to shake violently. A fissure rips open by the wall, causing some of the city wall to collapse, some of the small houses and some of the farm, both on the inner part and outer part of the wall, to kind of collapse in. These gouts of flame start to shoot up. Inside of this fissure, you can see like the glowing yellowish orange rock. You hear these horrific screaming coming from within. Does anybody look into the fissure?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those looking into the
Ew.
fissure, I need you to
I
make...
do not. I'm far too intelligent to fall for your jerks, Dave.
I need y'all to make wisdom saving throws.
I take it this isn't magical.
No, it is not a magical effect.
I got a net 20, 21.
Where's that +9 coming from?
Okay.
I don't have bless up, that's why.
All three of you failed. Though Nyx was pretty close to passing.
Nyx has a 26, I still have my aura up.
$26 then.
All right.
It's also a nat 20.
Yes, but nat 20s are not an auto success.
Ah.
Yes.
I'm being real. Everybody would look in probably. So just because I, the player, don't want whatever negative effects is gonna happen.
No, Barth is well
Dummy.
experienced.
Yeah,
enough
Barth
to
is
get-
just
not
looking up
get
and
involved.
away.
He's like, nope. I know where this goes.
Well, Nyx, you're the only one that kind of sees this. As everybody else, your mind's kind of blank out the horrific visages that you see below in the pit, almost to kind of protect you. But at the same time, because your mind shut down, you're kind of almost stunned for just for about a minute. Nyx, your mind kind of helps block out some of the things without shutting down. And the bits that you can process, you see what appears to be almost like half torso sticking out of the walls of this fissure, like screaming in agony, trying to claw their way up. further down into the fissure, through the flames, you see large beasts just kind of moving around. Some of them ripping people from the rock and just devouring them. The screams just intensifying from these other entities that are at the bottom of this pit. And once that black column of light stops, the violent shaking stops, the wall finishes collapsing, the fissure itself, the flames kind of cease and seal up. Though there is a pit there, you can see like where the earth has been cleaved into by some unnatural force. It is not a pit anymore, a flaming pit of molten rock anymore. It's just scorched earth at this point. And people are just kind of like aghast, and the visage of this arch heretic that's in the air. Give us the boy, and you will be spared. You have been warned. And both his visage and the visage of Caleb vanish.
Nyx kind of reels back and hides her face in Faith's robes.
There, it will be fine.
Who the hell was that?
It's that motherfucker who got me fired. He's the one in charge of the Mad God's forces.
Oh, so that's bad.
Yeah. Do you remember when all the Nemesis were?
Yes, I
Yeah.
remember that.
He was the big scary one. And yeah, he's been the religious head of the Mad God's forces for. But you know what? We have a plan.
I don't think he ever told them about the tortures he used to do to people too.
You know, they probably got a decent idea looking into that pit.
I mean, he was like the high priest at a cathedral made out of flesh.
Flesh and bones made out of the non-believers.
What are we gonna do?
Well, things are fine. I'm sorry, Barth, I have to do this. Because the hero Barth has come back to Relden to save us.
Do I know the hero of Barth's song?
The hero of Relden?
Yeah.
Make a history check with advantage. Since you are a bard.
Is there a way to toggle advantage on D&D Beyond?
Ooh, that is a
Yes.
great question. I'm sure you can. I'm not sure. I'm trying to pull up one of my characters to see if I can.
Someone said yes.
So you see the little button at the top of your sheet that says Beyond.
Yeah.
Click it, and it'll bring up the settings.
Yes.
Type a roll, change it to roll with advantage with disadvantage.
I'll set it to roll twice.
Question? Kind of out of
Yeah.
what level are we?
12.
Okay, cool.
You said history, right?
Yes.
$25.
Oh yeah. You're familiar of the hero of Relden, the man they call Barth.
This is perfect.
Nyx pulls out her viol and starts dancing around and singing about the hero of Relden.
So,
little
seeing
join.
this,
Make a performance check. Next.
With advantage, I'm helping.
Oh, I also have something I want to do.
23.
Barth, they're drawing a crap ton of attention, crowds, and people will start pointing and whispering and murmurs like,
So,
that's him, that's Barth, and the crowds are getting larger and more people are.
so without missing a beat, Faith is going to look towards Barth very quietly. I'm sorry. And she's going to turn towards the crowds as her expression changes to one that's extremely hopeful instead of her normal somber melancholy. Fear not, people of Relden, for the hero Barth has come back to save you all. Hold your faith high and do not fear this creature that is threatening you all. We will be safe. He will save you all.
Oh, we're all gonna die.
I'm so happy.
And
After my performance, I start preparing a ritual.
Yep, and men here, you hear the song being sung. Apparently, Barth killed a Titan in 5 seconds flat, and basically, it's this really absurd tale about him single-handedly, like, seeing the suffering of the town and fighting the injustice and the monstrous hordes and flying off on a griffin afterwards.
And then there was the next verse about how he stopped the monsters from destroying the tree. And there was the version where his brave, fiery courage burnt down the storm raging around the plateau. All completely over the top embellished.
So, hey, Lauren,
Laser eyes were involved.
I hope you're going to enjoy this, or you're not probably going to enjoy this at all, actually, but you're going to be used as a symbol of keeping everyone's faith and fighting against all of these monsters that are wanting to destroy everything.
Oh, we're all gonna die.
And Ivy just looks kind of like really scared of what she just kind of witnessed. She's just like terrified.
Oh, it's okay. Nice big hug. We got the hero.
What's the layout of the city, folks? Anybody been here before? I'm assuming, yeah. Barth, good job.
Yeah.
on
They
killing
have
the
a
Titan.
folk song about Barth saving
Good
the
job.
city.
Good job killing the Titan there, buddy. And then there claps him on the shoulder. Well done.
Poor Willow!
Well, I mean, that's not an embellishment. He really did like do the landing blow on the Death Titan.
Yeah.
Good job.
Well, assuming it's still here, perhaps we should go to the
It's like a temple,
name's,
temple of good
uh,
temple.
Well, I mean, there would be the Temple of the Wonderbringer, as I
Yeah.
said.
Yeah,
They,
just
That's
point
the
out.
one that owed you to favor. The
Yeah.
the Dragonborn priestess Vera is the one that owed you the favor.
yeah, that we were gonna use to regrow Senosha's arm, but then other stuff happened that made that fairly irrelevant.
So many things happened.
Well, where's that at?
We also have a tavern here too.
Yeah, I was suggesting we.
I need my
was
fucking
supposed to be
hand restored. Wherever I gotta go to get that done is where I'm.
Well, I guess we
I
should.
can't help y'all with one hand. Is the point.
Oh, we should probably go to the Temple of the Wonderbringer in that case.
Okay.
Nyx is has a little book open in front of her, and she's frantically playing her viol while she's staring at a series of notes on a page.
Well, if we're all going to go forward now, come on, Nix. We have a temple to go to.
1 second.
Already gonna cast Thaumaturgy. Make my voice 3 times as loud.
I'm just gonna he's gonna grab the collar of the back of Willow's neck collar and then drag her off before she can even do that.
But I need to tell them to clear away that the hero of Relden is going to help cleanse his friends.
We don't need to be drawing too much attention to us. I mean, we've already drawn plenty enough.
Oh, you've drawn so much. Not to mention the fact, like, your party's composition is already drawing attention. But, yeah, now that you bolstered the fact that Barth has returned, yeah, that's... word of mouth is going to be spreading like wildfire.
Does my ritual go off?
Are you gonna stand there for 10 minutes?
I was gonna try.
I mean, if you want to wait there for 10 minutes, absolutely. But the others are moving away.
I'll stop and follow.
And Ivy's just kind of wide-eyed at some of the things. She's literally never seen a city before. So she's just kind of like...
But to be fair, there's a lot of things she's never seen before.
She's only been alive for about 24 hours, so yeah. She's literally just seeing a lot of things for the first time. So, and she keeps stopping to kind of like, ooh, and, she sees like a mangy dog in an alleyway. She's like, ooh, Little kids try to come up towards her.
Wait, where did we leave from, by the way?
You were on another continent previously.
Yep.
Yeah, you were in a continent known as the Savage Land.
No, I mean, where do we go to the Savage Land from? Aurora?
No,
Aidenwall.
Audra. Well, yeah, because you went from there to teleport to Aidenwall from the Druid's Grove. So.
What happened to the druid?
Jaru?
Did he die?
No, he did not die. He left once all the Fae were there. They let him go back.
Okay. I'm glad that he didn't die.
Oh, no,
I'm glad that Willow didn't get him killed.
Though, to be fair, we did steal him for a year.
Yep.
It's just the moral of the story is don't do anything because there's always unintended consequences.
Moral of the story is don't do anything that was Willow's idea.
Exactly. Wait, what? No.
Moral of the story, never help the Fae.
But I'm a Fae.
Yeah, we see where that got us a year in the future.
That's,
That kind of hurts.
Well, as you all go through Relden, which you're familiar with, you've been here, not much has changed other than the guards, for the most part, are still the same. Where is it? Oh god, why did I have this on the other browser? Hang on. Probably because I was working on it before game. Come here. That's all. It's probably my only complaint with Word Anvil is because it's browser based. It can lag a little bit. But outside of that, it's amazing. Come on, click Relden. There we go. You're gonna do that. Okay. So, but the guards are mostly, from what you remember, centaurs, Goliaths, various elves and half-elves, wearing their silver-colored metal, like their chainmail with the silver and white tabards, with the crest of Relden, which is almost like a southern double cross. That, I don't know if I ever made a handout for that. I'm just checking real quick. I don't think that was a handout. Sorta. So this is kind of the symbol that you see on them.
You know, I just realized I never went to the banquet that the King and Queen of Relden
Nope.
are having. Whoops.
To be fair, you were helping other people.
Yeah, it's okay. We'll sing verses 4 and 5. They'll understand.
So, but yeah, the guards are still the same. They don't seem to be very. They're not as racist towards humans. Some of them still kind of have a little chip on their shoulder. You can see when they're dealing with people or how they look at humans. But and there's not a huge influx of humans. Like it's not like predominantly human here, but there is a mix of human now. And a lot of people just wandering the streets, just kind of like doing their daily business or visiting, seeing various sites, things that they've really never had a chance to do here in Relden. As you make your way to the Temple of the Wonderbringer, the House of Animated Connections, you see the temple doors are open. There's probably a mass that may have just let out, considering the amount of halflings and dwarves and gnomes that are kind of exiting the temple here. As the streets fill up with these individuals there, you do see one of the priests the priest of the temple just kind of wishing everybody well, and does make eye contact with you, just kind of staring down the other end of the Sea-Watch Street here in Dragon's Village.
Alright, Barth will approach and... what was her name again? The priest... The Dragonborn priest that...
Make an
the
intelligence
assistant-
check.
Ah, shit.
Let's see if the character can recall.
Nice.
You remember her quite well. Her full name was Vera Dallin, but most just called her Vera for short. She was a copper-scaled dragonborn. But even though her scales were copper-toned, she was of the bronze dragon ancestry. She was always very courteous with your group, and also had that crazy creation, Epi, that little half golem that was in the attic. The one that let loose that mechanical bird that dive bombed you when you first went to the temple.
Yeah.
So yeah, Barth remembers all of this. Like, and he remembers the crazy goggle helm contraptions that are put on pedestals around the halls of the temple. So yeah, he remembers quite a bit from here.
Greetings. Is Sister Lyra here?
And what is your business with Sister Vera?
My friend here has had a rather unfortunate accident with a pool of Medusa blood, apparently. We were wondering if she could assist us.
And do you show the hand?
I'm sure the hand is evident that it is stone.
Yeah, he'll gesture to Minhir's hand.
Okay. So the priest here you can see is probably a half elf by the looks of it, and he just kind of looks at the hands like, "Oh, pardon. I'm Nicholas. Here, come in, come in. We just got finished with one of our prayer services. Let's bring you to one of the inner cloisters here where you can sit down and until we can get Vera to come speak with you. And who should I ask is asking for her?
Tell her that. He's just gonna, just as soon as he hears Willow breathing, he's gonna cover her mouth. Tell her that Barth is here to see her.
Barth. It's a pretty famous name nowadays. You know, there's a chap that helped save our town with the same name.
Yes, that Barth.
You're him. You're he. I mean, you're. This... Oh wow! He's just like kind of like, oh, and he's still like ushering you to all come in, and he leads you down the halls to this open area. It's got some benches. There's kind of a decorative rug. There's incense kind of burning. There's more contraptions in these dome, like these pedestals with these like glass dome coverings, these odd contraptions. But in the far end of the chamber, that you see this series of cogwheels, various sizes, all spinning, some tilted at weird and odd angles. The whole contraption in itself is rotating on some unknown axis as all the gears spin in different directions. It's almost like looking at a mechanical version of a lava lamp. It captures your eye and just kind of mesmerizes you just for a moment, just like all these different moving parts to it. And how quiet but yet seamless the contraption is. Right, you wait right here. I'll go get Vera. And he just kind of takes his ash gray robes, just kind of lifts them up as he kind of shuffles out. Leaving the doors open as you leaves you to wander about in here. Ivy's just kind of like looking at all the stuff, gets close to the giant series of cogwheels, just kind of looks underneath it, just kind of peers up. What's that?
Well, in this place, who knows? It could be anything, right?
It's a machine.
She suddenly becomes Dexter's sister and says, "What does this button do?" And then push.
I push the button, and she just like presses every button everywhere. But no, she's just kind of like looking at everything, and that's got her attention right now. So while you're waiting for Vera to arrive,
I remember this place, but I was Boggle at the time.
Yep.
Poor doppelganger dude. Elodia, don't you still have his worldly possession?
I'm s-
Of Boggle.
Yeah,
Little
don't you
gnome.
still have
Yeah.
Boggle's stuff?
I still do. The robe and the beads.
So, as you're contemplating within the halls here, this very energetic gnome comes in. He's wearing this bright blue and gold kind of frock coat, has spiky, flowery, light brown with little like peppers of gray, graying hairs on top of his head, cut kind of short for the most part. Has these big thick glasses that kind of hang at the end of his nose, and they're attached to like a little gold chain to his collar, and he has this big puff of like from the white undershirt just sticking out of the collar. As he comes in here, he makes like a little donation at this little alms box that's by the entrance, and he doesn't notice you all in here at first, as he was just coming in here just like full stride, and he just kind of stops. His boots just kind of clack clack on the stone tile, and he looks in there. He's like, "Oh, hi. I'm sorry, I didn't know this chapel was taken. Is somebody getting married in here today, or
No, no, Willow, no. No, we just had some business with one of the sisters here. Feel free, and he'll
And
I don't know.
he just kind of
Thank you, gnome. You just reminded me of something. So Menor walks over to the donation thing and throws some freaking money in there. The gnome reminded him of his.
So he does like a little, kind of like a little bow, and with his arms just kind of like almost like a dab mixed with a bow. Pleasure to meet you. I am Nigel Devereaux Fontaine Janssen III, but most people just call me Sparks.
That's a very long, complicated name. I think Sparks is it. Sparks it is.
well,
Long, complicated, pitch potch.
well, it's good to meet you, Sparks.
Likewise. Haven't seen you around in the temple before. Are you new to town?
Well, I've been here before, but not in about a year or so.
You're kind of skinny. You need to eat more.
Well, if you're hungry, I know this great place to eat. It's called the Dragonflower Inn. Hi, I'm Willow, part owner and proprietor. Are you hungry? Thirsty?
I mean, that place had okay cheese soup, I suppose, but the dragon's you DFYY.
Yes,
Right.
that place.
Right.
That place is amazing.
Oh, it's good to hear that it's been doing well.
Yeah, I've only been in Weldon for about the past month and a half. Hey, did y'all see that crazy head in the sky? Man. Telling you.
Yes, that was certainly rather ominous.
That's crazy stuff is why I left Rolf Lenny, I tell you. Oh, man, you want to talk about some crazy stuff. Go down there sometimes. Oh, man, the Crystal Mist Mountains? Phew. Yeah, forget about it, man. And don't even think about going to the Black Desert. Whoo, man. Crazy stuff, I tell you.
Oh, don't worry, things are mostly normal here.
Really? Huh. See, I came over here because I heard about some crazy stuff that was going on. Did you know that there's war going on?
Wait, what? No.
Yeah. Yeah, apparently there's like this this big religious cult or something, some kind of blood faction or blood god, and there's this former Holland military that has broken off into their own nation. And Yadar is also arming up the military, and there's all these. I haven't seen him yet, but people are telling me that by this place called Aurora and a few other bits and pieces that been some sightings of like these demons and stuff. Oh, I'm gonna make a killing selling some of these weapons. You can't beat Janssen Goods, I tell you.
No.
Gerbo Janssen. You know that name? You know the name Gerbo?
Oh, yeah, he's my great uncle.
Yeah, I know him. So you're a Janssen, huh? Y'all sons of bitches multiply like rabbit.
Excuse you, sir.
You're all over the place. Janssen's everywhere. Even in other dimensions.
We're distinguished and we're well traveled. Thank you very much.
Don't mind him. He has a bit of a gruff exterior.
I can tell. It's pretty gruff. Hands damn turned to stone, so gruff.
So
Oh,
you
yeah,
sell
I need
weapons.
that club back.
I hand it back to you. What do you need it for, by the way? Don't cause any trouble.
No, Janssen weapons aren't the best. Stardew weapons are the best.
Stardew? Those things are babies' toys. Wait, didn't they go out of business?
No, we're still operating. We're just apparently in foreclosure. I need to set this on fire. I mean, just look at this thing. Look at the sleek line.
When he takes a look at it, where'd you get this from? A dead giant? Good lord, this thing is poor craftsmanship. If this is Stardew material, then that explains it. That's why they lost power in the Concordant.
Dead giant, that's not too far off.
Here, let's give a nice weapon to test demonstration here.
And
Faith is going to put a hand onto Willow's shoulder, exerting a pretty large amount of strength. Now, Willow, I believe that's not why we're here. If you're wanting to do that, take it outside the temple east. Okay? And she just flashes this very kind-hearted smile.
well, if y'all are interested in some real weaponry, just ask for Nigel. I'll be around Reldon for a few more weeks here before I start traveling up the coast. and stopping by some of the other major settlements. But yeah,
Where's your
lots of
shop
money.
at?
Ah, well, my main goods are on port on my ship. As I said, I'll be traveling up the coast, visiting all these major cities. But if you're looking for
Thanks,
some
good
good
to know.
wares, so he just kind of just smiles and waves you all, a good day as he exits out. You see the bronze scaled, the copper scaled bronze dragonborn enter in. See familiar face. So it is you. Haven't seen you in quite some time. You seem in good health, though company has changed again.
Yes, that seems to happen rather often.
Well, I'm glad you are doing well. So, Nicolas says that you are needing specialty aid, and she's kind of looking over you, like head to toe. You don't seem sick or hurt.
It's not for me, it's for my friend here, and he gestures to Min here. His hand. He had a
So you might
bit of a
want to have
run-in with it.
a Janssen take a look at that arm of yours. She just kind of taps it, and because you still got that acidic burns that kind of weaken the metal on it.
Oh right, I never got that taken care of.
No, you'd have not. So who is the one that needs the help?
That would be my friend here, and he gestures to Min here. He had a bit of a run-in with a pool of Medusa blood.
Why on earth would you want to play with you know what? Let me take a look at you. And she just kind of reaches out and sees your hand. Menhir, do you let her look at your arm?
Yeah, sure. See, that's the fail. They should have made Earth Ganassi immune to petrification in reality, but it probably, for game balance, would have considered that too strong of an ability. But the Dao they come from are immune to petrification.
Well, it's kind of like some of the, the Fey offshoots, like what they can be immune to, and, elves and things like that. So they kind of bled it down. Though, the only thing that I have modified in this, which I even had a chart for, was not in terms of petrification, but in terms of magical aging. Because, those magical aging hurts more for people who are playing goblins and kobolds, and less so for people playing elves. So I have a chart that gives them the same percentage as they would hit no matter what race. So humans, elves, and kobolds all get hit the same amount, but it varies their years due to their unique lifespans. So ghosts hurt elves a lot now, and are no longer almost instant death for people playing goblins and kobolds. So, she's looking at your hand here, Menhir. Oh, well, that's definitely, your flesh definitely has been turned to stone here. And she's just kind of rotating it. It can be treated, though it's, we'll have to use what those in the clerical circles call a greater form of restoration magic. It will use some expensive materials, but We owe Barth a favor, so we'll have this restored in no time and consider the favor squared. And she just kind of looks in Barth's direction like, does that sound, like a deal? Like we'll call it even if we can restore his hand.
Yes, thank you. It's
Bart, you ain't gotta do that, Barth, if you don't want to, man. This favor's a pretty big deal with the whole temple and stuff. How much would it be if it weren't the favor?
Well, finding one to actually skill enough to cast this level of restoration magic is a feat in itself. Though the material needed is expensive, it is crushed diamonds that the diamonds themselves have to have a bit of value, so nothing too impure, and the diamonds themselves are burnt up during the magic's restoratory effect.
Out of the corner of your eye, you can see Nick slowly pulling out 3 massive diamonds from her bag.
I'm talking about, like, what's the value in monies that it would be?
Well, there's two things to factor in. Is one, the actual cost of material components, and the other is the actual spell itself. Because if you were to go ask somebody to do XYZ, they would charge you for the service.
Where's the damn wizard? If he was still here, I'd bash him in the head with the stone.
Your stone hand or the stone?
Stone hand. Dave.
Yeah, because we just heard stone, so just want to make sure. Got to get that clarification.
Well, I mean, I'm kind of curious too as to the cost, and I haven't heard a number.
Well, I'd have to look at, because it's a 5th level spell, so I'd have to see how much they would charge for that, and then add in the material cost with that. So basically, either she can do it, or she knows somebody who can do that. Like, she can kind of call in that favor herself. So she is basically asking Barth, is like, will this set us square if I get this linked up to you? Just because a spell may only have like a 1,000 gold material component doesn't mean the cost of that is going to be that material component.
right. Yeah, Barth's fine with that.
All right. Let me get in contact with those who can get this started here. Where are you staying at? What is your name, sir?
My name is Menhir Sarsen.
And where are you staying, Menhir Sarsen?
I don't even know. We just got here. I have no idea.
We would be staying at the Dragonflower Inn.
Do you mean the dragon's favorite yum-yums?
Yes, there.
Yes.
Ah.
All right. As a
Interesting
side note, I
place.
feel like Imri's been by at some point because of that nickname. I don't know why yet.
It has several different names, as you will find out during your travels, for various reasons. But everybody knows it as different names. So it's one of many issues with the place right now. Anyway, that's good. They donate sweets to some of the various orphanages. It's very, very nice of them, and they even let some of the poor folk use some of their bakeries once they're done with those for the day. Wish more places were like them, to be honest. But once I have everything in place for your restoration, Menhia, we'll send somebody out to retrieve you and, well, we'll get your hand restored.
Thank you.
And she just kind of nods and, Bath, it is good to see you. Do be careful. It is very, very troubling times.
I will keep that in mind. You keep safe as well.
I do what I can. And she just kind of pats you on the shoulder and gives you a blessing of the Wonderbringer before exiting the temple. Well, the chamber that you're in, not the temple itself.
Yeah. Is the gnome guy still here?
Nigel, no. Or Sparks, no, he left.
Oh, that reminds me. While we're back here in town, I need to send a message to see how old Lord Stoneheart.
Ryrak Stoneheart?
Yep.
And how are you contacting Stoneheart? There's a lot of people you know in this town, so some for better, some for worse.
Yeah, I wonder if some people have gotten out of prison yet.
Don't know. You don't even know what the criminal scene is right now.
But that's something we can worry about till later. Let's go figure out what's happening.
Though there hasn't been any murders in the middle of the streets in broad daylight, so that is a good sign.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, for some people.
Wow.
I mean, yeah. Let's get going. Things are good.
Okay. So, you going to the Dragon's Flower, or the Dragon's favorite Yum Yums, or the doughy frosted Yum Yums?
You know, let's go to all of them at once. Which is strangely possible.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so you going to the Birdsong Alley, and I think that was in Chargersboro. Yeah, and so going there, the tight businesses and homesteads, and the somewhat magical alley that you can always hear the peaceful songs of a songbird just playing, even though there's no birds that can be found.
Cool. This is the place where they had the tavern, or the house, right?
Yeah, this is where they set up that tavern.
Awesome.
So, making your way through there, it's not as busy as it was in the market district, but there's ample foot traffic going to the cul-de-sac of various businesses through the end of the alley's intersection where the FYI is located. There are people coming in and out. There are people waiting by this attached bakery there, and you can hear various singing and ruckus coming from within. You see various guards like sitting outside, eating some of the pastries and drinking various tin cups of tea or coffee. You're not quite sure what exactly they're imbibing. But they seem happy. They seem content.
All right, let's go in and have a quick word.
So
Yeah.
It's okay, guys. I've calmed down from the onsen earlier. I'm okay. Things are fine. We're just gonna have a nice, calm, peaceful chat.
are you sure about that?
I mean, I don't really believe that, but, you know.
I've got Ivy here, so I have to at least try to be calm and peaceful.
Now, I
Don't want
think
to teach her bad lessons.
this is true. And she's just like smelling all the stuff, like, and you hear her stomach kind of grimace, like, "Ooh, what's all that?"
It's delicious baked goods, and we'll get you some here, and we'll. Big sis just has to go talk to the cook real quick.
So, as you go inside, it's busy inside. There's various, like, halflings and gnomes. Few regular-sized folk in there, serving wenches and whatnot. Going back and forth with platters full of various foods and drinks. There are minstrels playing very loudly in one of the corners by a burning hearth. A lot of people are like playing various little card games at the tables. Some of them laughing, telling jokes. You hear various crashes from the kitchen, and doesn't really faze too many of the customers. Some people are going up and down the stairs to the upper floors. But you see a very busy barkeep, which is this gnomish gal. It's very. She's wearing a kind of a white and green dress, like it's kind of a white shirt with kind of like another. Like the dress part is green, but there's like a white top shirt, and that's white. That's underneath that. And she's busy kind of like cleaning some of the little mugs and laughing with some of the patrons. And she kind of makes eye contact with you as you enter in, and she just smiles and continues chatting with some of the folk at the bar.
Hey, Bartholodia, I don't recall putting her as our manager, right? It was like a half-elf we put as a man.
I mean, barkeep's typically not necessarily the manager.
True. Let's just go. Hi, how you doing?
Ah, new faces. How you doing? Welcome. What can I get ya? You look like a thirsty lot. Can I interest you in nice frothy mug of ale? Or maybe today's special might be something of your liking.
You know, what is today's special? That,
Well, today's special, my dear, is something I think you'll really, really love. Well, maybe not love exactly, more like, well, you'll find it interesting. So it's garlic, smashed potatoes, and pistachio cream.
What?
okay, you know, I really recommend their hiring decisions after we lost the first batch of cooks.
Well, to be fair, see, it was more of a happy accident for the special today. You see, Tessie back there, and she's kind of pointing, and, very energetic. She was making the baked potatoes and the cream for the dessert. But little Tony over there, who was juggling the garlic, slipped on a banana that my gal Sal had dropped. And then Tony's garlic, well, that kind of landed on the potatoes. And then Tony landed on Tessie. And then Tessie landed on the potatoes. And then they were really, really smashed. But that was okay. However, Rover found that Tessie had sat the cream on the stove, and the cream had melted. So, fortunately, though, no one likes smashed potatoes without gravy, so things just kind of worked out just fine.
I'm intrigued. I'll try it.
You know what? I take it back. Whoever's currently managing our place is doing a great job, and they need a raise. Yeah.
All right, so Melodia orders the special.
I'll just have a mug of ale.
Nyx has taken like 3 minutes to climb up on the bar stool. I'll take food.
So, seeing as we're now basically in an in-bar horror show, Faith is going to quickly disrobe herself of the dress that she's wearing, revealing a bit more of this barbarian-esque clothing. As her expression softens, she immediately sits down on a stool, and her voice is a lot less soft. Hey, get me one of those beers.
So, you see this mug, this like wooden and iron banded mug, just kind of slide on one of the back counters, and it goes under a tap that just opens by itself, and then the mug just kind of floats over to the counter and slides right in front of Faith. The foam just kind of edging over the lip as the beer just kind of sloshes inside just a little bit as the mug finishes sliding, and just gently drips down the side of it.
That's so cool. We need one for Ivy too, and some food.
So this is the inn you have?
Shh. We're doing a surprise inspection right now. Yeah, that's what this is.
Why?
Because I want to eat the food.
What? But you own the inn.
I mean,
it's not much of a surprise if they know I'm the owner.
Why wouldn't they know you're the owner? Nyx looks very confused.
Well, maybe, dryads are super common nowadays.
Okay.
It's 'cause Willow's a little bit off. And Faith will grab the mug and then start drinking it.
Well, I'll be performing here tonight. I'd better go advertise. And she takes whatever drink she was given and starts walking outside.
All right. Well, she was given a little half pint of ale, and she takes that and she starts going outside to start her advertising for tonight's performances. Meanwhile,
She's actually doing a ritual.
Okay. You want to describe what's going on?
Yeah, so she puts back her book down and starts playing her violin according to these very specific musical staffs that she has scribbled down. And after 10 minutes, she casts Skywrite.
I will take a moment. Since you've never been to Reldon before, here, I'm just going to hand you this list of rules that they handed me way back when. Just try not to get in trouble, okay?
So in the sky, it says, tonight, Granny Nix performing at the Dragon's Flower Inn. In parentheses, Dragon's favorite yum-yums.
Okay, so skywriting advertisements.
We're all gonna die.
Oh, it gets even better because while y'all doing that, Ivy is pulled away by the bar by one of the patrons, and she's like sampling stuff. One of the patrons just kind of pulls it over, and it's a young man, human, kind of short, cropped black hair, dresses fairly nice, not like noble nice, but definitely clean, not dirty clothing, leather breeches, kind of a matching tunic, and he's just looking at Ivy's, like he kind of pulls her like to the dance floor kind of section of the inn, and she's just like, "Hi, I'm Ivy," and he just kind of smiles. Ah, so the beauty does have a name.
I immediately walk over to the guy.
I'll
and I
I'll
grab
find-
him by his collar. I grab him by his collar and I lift him up into the air. And then I gently grab
Unhand
her
me,
by the
sir.
shoulder and push her towards Willow.
Faith will also be walking over there while drinking from her ale.
Find your amusement elsewhere, young jackanape. I know your type because I'm one myself. Now get out or I'll put my boot to your backside.
And he just kind of looks at you and, oh, you think so, huh? Well, would you like to step outside, sir?
Sure. I ain't crushed nobody's fucking head in about a day. Let's go.
Men here, men here, men here.
I won't even use the stone fucking hand either. I'll hold it behind my back.
Faith gets this devilish grin on her face as she goes, or puts an arm around Minhir's shoulder. You know, I think this sounds like fun, doesn't it?
Why do we keep accumulating crazy people? It's cool though.
I don't think you really get to say I'm crazy if you're the one that wants to smash someone's skull. That's a little bit off kilter, don't you think?
I'm just gonna punch him in the head a couple times. He ain't gonna die.
That's still a little bit crazy, but you know, there's nothing wrong with that.
Oh, there's a lot wrong with it. This is all your guys' first time in Reldon, I take it.
From the sounds of it, yes.
Alright, nobody's taking anything outside.
Well then, this uncouth individual should keep his hands to himself. The lady could speak for herself. She seemed to be having a good time, and
She's
I was
about
being a
day-
perfect gentleman.
She's
unlike
a day
this
old,
brute.
jackass. She's like a day old, jackass.
Let's just kind of give that slightly held, head tilted up glare.
At
So you
whom?
were going to, so you are going to be spending time with my dear sweet little sister, is that it?
Well, at least getting to know her a bit better. A new face and all around here. In fact, hello. I'm Jasper. Nice to meet you.
Well, it's nice to meet you too.
And your sister, Ivy, as she introduced herself before this ruffian decided to almost ruin my shirt.
Yes, my
Costs more
nice
than you make
underage-
in a month, sir.
My nice underage younger sister.
Are you sure I can't punch this guy at least one
Barth's,
time, Willow?
Barth's gonna go over to him and say, "Take it from me. Don't get involved. You'll regret it. Just turn around and walk out. Walk out the door, and pretend you've never seen us, and you won't. Just take it from me."
Make a persuasion check with advantage, Barth.
"27.
How come you ain't letting me knock this dude around some? Damn it, Willow.
Okay, here you go, men. Here, it's the same thing I gave to Granny.
the laws.
The laws of Relden and all the punishments, which are kind of extreme.
And not only that, but I mean, you could also tell them about the Bastille, the prison
Yeah.
that they, Barth has been there, and he knows just
Yeah.
about the Relden lie detector, which is a 350-pound minotaur with a great club.
Yeah, that's yeah, not.
I'll fight him too. That sounds like fun.
You know, I'm starting to think that you might just be one of those crazy ones, too. Don't worry, as the accent changes, I'm still trying to figure out what her more casual voice is. So
That's
we're
plenty of time to figure that out.
All right, so how does he react to Barth's warning?
Well, he kind of looks you up head to toe, and he's like, "Oh, kind of like he recognizes you a bit. Like he's somebody that, as young as he is, he's not as probably as dumb or inexperienced as his attire as he may give off." And he just kind of like, fair enough. And he just kind of looks over towards Willow and Ivy. Ladies, it'll be the first nor last time that I hopefully cross your paths. And he just kind of gives this devilish smile and kind of exits out, taking Barth's advice.
I mean, only partially. I said don't get involved. He just put off him getting involved.
Ivy, dear.
And she's like back to like looking at different things on the, ooh, what's that? I want to try that. And she's like ordering like all kinds of crap off the menu and drinking all kinds of different things, like taking sips of like 4 different beers and just like some of them she's making these sour faces with, others she's just like, ooh, and she starts drinking even more of. Apparently she found one that was kind of like a honey mead.
Alright, today I'm going to teach you about moderation. And not running up a huge bill on Big Sis's tab. That reminds me.
And she's got like a
Barth.
mouthful of food, she's just like chewing like, uh-huh.
Barth, you might want to. Weren't Senosha's family nobles here?
Oh, they were. They were.
Well,
I mean, until somebody burnt down their inn. I mean, their man.
well.
Actually, he doesn't. Well, that wasn't.
It's a little more complicated than that, but
And, the demons and. That's actually a pretty long list of charges against them, isn't there?
I mean, the criminal organization, at least that's like one part of her family tree here, anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, you did burn down some of her family members' villa.
Luckily, Bart doesn't remember that.
So, what are you trying to talk to Barth about, Willow?
I'll be back.
Oh, that was just at that. We don't know what happened to Senosha, so
Yeah. We need to... Hey, Nix, do you know Scry? Any chance?
No.
Well, then you're not useful.
Oh.
if you could get me a scroll of it, I could try.
I know teleportation.
Well, that would be useful if only we knew where she was.
And
that should be something that we should look into.
Aloda, you've been brought the day special, and it's not bad, but it's not great. It tastes about as good as it sounds.
So amazing.
Sure, let's go with amazing.
I'm gonna give it. I'll have Willow taste it. Give it a try.
The flavor profile is so unique. I've never tried anything quite like.
And the gnome barkeep just kind of smiling. These cooks, they discover new recipes all the time. It's amazing. Ah, we are truly blessed here.
We need to talk to your manager real fast. I need to compliment all of the hard.
And she just like, and she kind of looks back towards the kitchen. You might be down the other end of the alley at the Busty Jester.
All right, I paid off that building too, didn't I?
Yes, in fact, some of the ladies that work there sometimes moonlight over here. The very
You just hear Ayn Rand in the background. Fuck yeah.
Hey, men here. I know a place that might help calm you down.
Rather related to your particular interests.
I forgot I invested into another business.
just mildly forgot. Technically at least three different businesses.
Yeah, because we also invested in the other tavern too, didn't we?
Yeah.
Well, that one wasn't really invested in. That was still owned by, was it Vonanda?
Yep.
You didn't really invest into hers. Now, her boyfriend you did loan money to. But she didn't need the money. It was her boyfriend that needed the money. He had a gambling debt.
So we own him. Well,
Well, you already got favors with her anyway. That was the one where you had the Doom entrance in the back where the troll came out of and started attacking everybody. It's where first met Senosha, actually.
Yeah.
we parked the cart.
Barth
in the
doesn't
middle of the
remember
building.
that.
You know, we should We should go check that place out. The dungeon that's under it, under that place.
I think that we maybe have enough problems at the moment, but sure. Why not? Let's go check out the necromancer crypt dungeon. Because
I'm just throwing it out there.
It didn't end terribly last time we tried doing something like that.
Might have good loot. But here you go, Lodia. It's definitely a sensation for your taste buds.
Okay, I'll keep drinking it and finish it.
Back.
Welcome back.
Back.
We need men here to go.
Back.
We need men here to go to our other business to go find the manager. To our other business to go find the manager. To our other business to
What?
go find the manager. Yeah. It's the kind of place I can't take dear sweet younger sister into. Kind of place I can't. I feel like you are uniquely specialized for this kind. I feel like you are uniquely specialized for this kind. I feel like you are uniquely specialized for this. Am I echoing?
Somebody's echoing.
Am I echoing?
Are we?
Somebody's echoing.
I didn't hear any echoing.
Are we?
Somebody's echoing.
I didn't hear it either.
Any echoing.
I'm hearing it.
I didn't hear it either.
Echo.
I didn't hear it either.
Echo.
Yeah, it's weird.
But
It's weird.
Faith is gonna get another fill up of her. Faith is gonna get a veil, and she'll go with Min here.
Okay, hang on a
Faith is
second.
gonna get a veil, and she'll go with Min here.
Okay, hang on a
Faith is
second.
gonna get a veil, and she'll go with Min here.
Okay, hang on a
Faith is
second.
gonna get a veil, and she'll go with Min here. Faith is gonna get a veil, and she'll go with Min here. Faith is gonna get a veil, and she'll go with Min here.
I don't know what's causing that echo. I don't know what's causing that echo. I don't know what's causing that echo.
Do you hear it now?
Yeah,
Do you
I
hear
still
it?
hear it.
Ah, well.
Do you hear it now?
Yeah,
Do you
I
hear
still
it?
hear it.
Ah, well.
Do you hear it now?
Yeah,
Do you
I
hear
still
it?
hear it.
Did
Ah, well.
it turn on in Roll20 for EX?
Wow.
It turn on in
Not sure.
Roll20 for EX? It turn on in
Not sure.
Roll20 for EX? It turn on in
Not
Roll20 for EX?
shouldn't.
It turn on in
Not
Roll20 for
shouldn't.
EX? Turn on
Try this. Okay, test.
Hello.
Okay, test.
Hi.
I'm still echoing.
Good.
Hello.
Okay, test.
Hi.
I'm
Um,
still echoing.
Good.
Hello.
Test.
Hi.
I'm still echoing.
Good.
Hello.
I have my push to talk on. I don't think it's me.
No.
I have my push to talk on. I
know it
don't
ain't
think
me.
it's me.
No.
I have my push to talk on. I
know
don't
it ain't
It's really hard to hear everybody
I
because
have my push to
it's
talk on.
echoing really bad. It's really hard to hear everybody because it's echoing really bad. It's really hard to hear everybody because it's echoing really bad. It's really hard to hear everybody because it's and it just happened out of the blue, which is the weird part. And it just happened out of the blue, which is the weird part. And it just happened out of the blue, which is the weird part. And it just happened out of the blue. All right, let me restart Discord and see if there's anything with Discord. Let me restart Discord and see if there's anything with Discord. Let me restart Discord and see if there's anything with Discord. Let me restart Discord and see if there's anything with Discord. Let me restart Discord and see if there's anything with Discord. Let me restart Discord and see if there's anything. Yeah, this is really weird. 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 Yeah, I'm hearing it without it, so it's not Discord. Yeah, I'm hearing it without it, so it's not Discord. Yeah, I'm hearing it without it, so it's not Discord. Yeah, I'm hearing it without it, so it's not Discord. Yeah, I'm hearing it without it, so it's not Discord. Yeah, I'm still hearing it with Discord down, so it's something else. Yeah, I'm still hearing it with Discord down, so it's something else. Yeah, I'm still hearing it with Discord. 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 Yeah, I don't know what's causing that. This is the weirdest thing ever. Yeah, I don't know what's causing that. This is the weirdest thing ever.
Trying to think what program could even cause that.
This is the weirdest thing ever.
Trying to think what program could even cause that. Trying to think what program could even cause that. Trying to think what program could even cause that. Trying to think what program could even cause that. Trying to think what program could even cause that. Trying to think what program could even cause that.
It's got to be something with the streaming software. It's got to be something with the streaming software. So, all right, I'm just going to stop the stream here and see if that fixes it.